All right, let's talk about the Los Angeles Chargers heading into the regular season. Of course, this is a team that obviously had an exciting offseason, but we're finally going to start seeing the fruits of a very active offseason. Of course, new GM, new head coach, entirely new roster for all intents and purposes. And we've got some great news involving the Los Angeles Chargers at a key area. LA fans, you guys should be excited. I'm Nick, and this is Saturday Morning Inspection. All right, so the Los Angeles Chargers, of course, are going through a total paradigm shift. Obviously, they're changing stylistically, they're changing head coaches, front office. It feels like 90% of the roster has changed, and we're starting to get some early rave reviews from a new Los Angeles Charger who came from a winning program. Great sign for Los Angeles. Let's pull up this report, and then we'll talk about it more on the other side. This is courtesy of SI.com. The hype continues for the new era in Los Angeles. Chargers running back J.K. Dobbins said the chemistry he has with the offensive line is unique. Those guys are beasts. When you first put the O-line together and then you put the running backs with it, it takes chemistry, Dobbins told the media on Wednesday. The offense last year was nothing like the offense we have this year. I'm trying to get chemistry with them, and we're making sure we see it the same way. I think everybody is seeing it the same way. We have our chemistry, which is a beautiful thing to see, but it's going to keep getting better and better and better. You're going to be like, dang, this is different. I think that last part is really important. Obviously, we expect a totally different Los Angeles Chargers team, certainly on offense. And I think the returns, these comments from J.K. Dobbins, are a sign that things are heading in the right direction. That old school power football, Jim Harbaugh, Greg Roman style is off to a great start. Miles, I'm curious what your thoughts are on this. But first, Chargers fans, in the comments section below, regular season, just a few short days away. NFL football is nearly back. So now is your last chance. Give us your prediction, your final prediction for the Los Angeles Chargers 2024 final regular season record. Could go a lot of different ways, right? Could be a playoff team, maybe still have a rebuilding year. Curious what you guys' thoughts are on this. So give us your final prediction for the Los Angeles Chargers 2024 record and put it in the comment section below. But Miles, what are your thoughts on this latest Chargers news?
Well, Nick, I think this is really interesting comment by Dobbins because this is a guy who, quite frankly, has played with some really great offensive lines who've done a lot of really great things for him, especially under the same offensive coordinator and a guy like Greg Roman. So he has a lot of similar factors here. The difference here is the offensive line, and he's really complimenting, really highlighting how different and how good he thinks it's going to be. You go back to 2020, this is a guy, J.K. Dobbins. He ran for 6 yards a carry his rookie season before he got injured. Then 2022 as well, 5.7 yards a carry. So he's doing some pretty good things those years in that Greg Roman-led offense. Now with the Chargers, though, Dobbins says this is something special. He feels like it's a different type of chemistry that he's ever had before. He really thinks that the Chargers offense will be very different, which Chargers offense has been good. It's a different beast now with a Greg Roman-led offense. Like you said, a lot of running, a lot of trickery, a lot of pulling. It's going to be really interesting to see. But I think the key here for me is Dobbins is a guy who's been with some really great top 10 consistently offensive line units, and he's saying this feels special. So I think this goes back to Jim Harbaugh's focus early in the year of we got to build the trenches. We got to get the offensive line right. And we haven't seen the games play out yet, but all you can go off of is what you have so far. And this is some evidence showing that the little bit of work so far that Jim Harbaugh has put into the offensive line is already showing to pay off. The running backs are enjoying it. They're seeing a lot of change here. And I think this is going to be a really good sign for the Chargers moving forward.
Look, it's really hard to determine what actual factors lead to success in the NFL outside of great quarterback play, right? If you have a great quarterback, you're usually good. But outside of that, what really matters? Some people say pass rush. Some people say having a star wide receiver. Some people say you got to have a couple lockdown corners, whatever it may be. But it's interesting enough when you look at the PFF analytics in terms of what the top teams generally have. If you look at the three teams, there are only three teams last season that graded out 75 or better in run blocking grade on the PFF. We're talking offensive line run blocking. 49ers, Super Bowl, Detroit Lions, conference championship game, and Philadelphia Eagles won the playoff, made the playoffs. If it weren't for a total collapse on defense, they would have made a deep playoff run. They were in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. So again, great offensive line play in terms of run blocking is a direct predictor of success in the National Football League. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to win the Super Bowl, right? You need to have great quarterback play. But here's the beautiful part for the Los Angeles Chargers Yeah, I got it. And Justin Herbert, right? We all know he's a superstar. He's one of the best guys in the National Football League. That's undeniable. When you factor in elite quarterback play with great run blocking, there's no team in the NFL that can handle that right now. Again, because the 49ers, Lions, those two teams specifically at the top of the list in terms of run blocking grade, they kind of get by with above average quarterback play with Brock Purdy and Jared Goff. Nothing against those guys. They're no Justin Herbert. So, with based on what Dobbins is saying and the investments in the Chargers offensive line, if they can go all the way to top of the NFL in terms of run blocking grade or pretty close to the top, paired with Justin Herbert, that's an unstoppable combination, right? That's stuff that even Lamar Jackson era MVP stuff with the Baltimore Ravens a couple of years ago, they didn't quite get up to that level. For example, last year, the Baltimore Ravens only had the 8th best run blocking grade in the entire National Football League. So that's where the Chargers are going to get to. And the fact that J.K. Dobbins, who, like you said, knows good run blocking grades, he knows good run blocking, right? He ran behind a lot of it, a lot of that time under Greg Roman in Baltimore. I think it's a great sign that Los Angeles Chargers, I think it's outstanding news as they get ready for the regular season.